I thank everyone for tuning in this morning. On the program this morning, I welcome in a former National League champion second baseman, played for the Philadelphia Phillies, Chicago Cubs, and Toronto Blue Jays. We welcome in Mickey Morandini. Mickey, Brian C., thanks so much for your time this morning.
Hey, Brian, how you doing today?
Very well. I appreciate your time. I want to start, Mickey. You grew up in the Pittsburgh area and ended up playing college ball for the Indiana Hoosiers, where your development really began under Coach Bob Morgan. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I had some offers from some Big Ten schools. I'm from the Pittsburgh area, so had a lot of offers from schools in that area like Pitt, Penn State, some local Division II schools. But it was tough to pass up a Big Ten school, and I think I made the right choice.
Now, were you looking at other schools prior to Indiana?
I looked at, like I said, Pitt, Penn State, Iowa was involved. Like I said, it was hard to pass up a Big Ten school. And Bobby Knight was there. He was obviously a big draw at the time. Their basketball program was off the charts back then. And I just wanted to go play baseball, to be honest with you. And they gave me a good scholarship offer, and it's something I just couldn't pass up.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because, Indiana Hoosiers, they're known for their iconic, basketball program. Playing for the Hoosiers from 85 to 88, Mickey, your performance was spectacular. 1987, you played for the Cape Cod League and won a batting title. You became MVP. Talk about your years at the Cape Cod League and how, what that meant to you.
Yeah, I went up there, and, you never know when you go to those summer leagues, who's going to be there, what the level of competition is. But the Cape is one of the most prestigious summer leagues there is. And I just went up there, and I got off to a really hot start. It was really my first time using a wooden bat. And I got off to a really hot start and kind of rode that all summer. And the greatest part about it was I came down to the last day. I'm in a batting title battle with Robin Ventura, who – was one of the best players in college baseball that year. He had that long hitting streak, and
right.
He had played earlier in the day and went I was like percentage points ahead of him, and he had went 2 for 4, and I needed to go 3 for 4 in the game following him to win the batting title, and I did. I went 3 for 4, and I beat him out for the batting title up there by percentage points. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. 87, you won the batting title. You were named MVP, and you eventually got inducted to the CCBL Hall of Fame.
I did. I have the stolen base record up there. As I said, I won the batting title. I just had a really good summer that year, and it was quite an honor to get inducted to the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of big names, good names in that Hall of Fame for sure.
Amazing. So that was 87. Now, 1988, your baseball card is a very familiar one for us collectors because you are pictured on that card with your Team USA uniform. I want you to talk a little bit about your desire for playing, in the 88 Summer Olympics.
Yeah, that was a tough choice for me because after my junior year, I got drafted by the Pirates. And like I said, I'm from Pittsburgh, so I was a huge Pirates fan back when I was young. And I always wanted to obviously play at Three River Stadium for the Buccos, but had an opportunity to get an invite to the Olympic Games, which took place in 1988 after my senior year. So I turned down the Pirates, went back to school, had another good year, got the invite for the Olympics, and I was fortunate enough to make that team. They brought in about 60 players in Millington, Tennessee, which is where the base was for the Olympic team. And they cut it down to 20, and like I said, I was fortunate enough to be one of those players, and we went on to win the gold medal. So the choice I made turned out to be a good one.
Amazing. And that was 1988. Now, was Mark McGwire on that squad?
No, that was the 84 team. This team had Jim Abbott, Tino Martinez, Robin Ventura. I mean, I think 16 of the 20 players that played on this team eventually made it to the big league. So it was a pretty impressive squad.
Wow. So now I want to get back to your Hoosiers era because you set records at the time. Now you set records. You runs scored 277. You set a record for 61 doubles for the school, 29 triples for the school, which was a record, and 127 stolen bases. So you really left a mark in Indiana, in the Indiana Hoosier squad.
Yeah, I was. I played well there all 4 years, and I played third base my first year. I was normally a shortstop, and then my last 3 years I played shortstop. And we had an advantage back in those days because there was no limitations on the number of games you could play. So we were playing 80 to 90 games a year, which obviously helps the career stats. But yeah, I hold a lot of records there. I'm proud of them, and probably some of them won't be broken because they do limit the number of games that players can play now. So something I wish I'd have got a chance to play in the College World Series, but we were always kind of in the middle of the pack and never had that invite.
No question. Definitely left a mark, and you showcased your talent very well. Now, talk about now. You were chosen 5th round by the Philadelphia Phillies. If you can go back to that day, Mickey, how did you hear the news? What exactly were you doing that day when you heard you were going to be drafted?
Yeah, it was different back in those days. You didn't have the TV coverage and all those things. So really, the only group you knew who were drafted, they kind of publicized, was the first rounders, and then later on you got a call. So really, if I remember correctly, I didn't get a call for about a week. And after the draft had ended, and finally I got a call from the Phillies and said they took me in the 5th round, and obviously very excited to get started on my pro career. And the Phillies were generous enough, instead of sending me to instructional ball that October, they did allow me to go and try out, for the Olympics. So I really didn't pick out my first Phillies, bat or uniform until spring of 1989. So they were very good to me, and I appreciated them letting me go play in the Olympics.
Amazing. We're talking with Mickey Morandini, National League champion player of the Philadelphia Phillies, 1993. Mickey, 1990, it was your first big league start. I believe you played the final weeks of that season. Talk about your first game as a major leaguer. How was it playing on the major league field? What did it mean to you?
Yeah, there's a good story behind that. So, they have the September call-ups, and it was getting to be late August, and rumor has it I was not going to get called up. I had a decent year in AAA, not a great year, but it was my first full year of playing second base because I had said I was a shortstop my whole career. So I was still kind of learning second base, so I understood that not getting called up. So 3 games left in the season, I get called into the manager's office after batting practice, and I'm like, what the heck do you want to talk to me about? The season's almost over. So I go in, he goes, sit down, and I sit down, and he goes, the Phillies just traded Tommy Herr. They have a doubleheader tonight, and you're starting the second game. So, pack all my stuff up, take the car, drive to Philly, about 2-hour drive. I get there, the first game's already going on, obviously nervous as heck, and, just all kind of emotions. And I get into the dugout, and the game is in the 8th inning. It's a tie game. I pinch hit. I had a really good at-bat against Eric Shaw, and I ended up lining out to left field, which was occupied by Fred Lynn at the time. And then the game went extra innings, so I got my second at-bat off of Greg Harris. I got a base hit. The next guy bunted me over, and then Johnny Kruk comes up and singled me home. So I went from almost playing in a AAA game to playing my first big league ball game, getting my first big league hit, and scoring the winning run. So that was pretty amazing.
Pretty neat. And you also had a great fielding ratio. I believe you made 1 error in 25 games in 1990.
Yeah, I took a lot of pride in my defense. I learned the position well. I had 2 really good infield instructors, and John Vukovic and Larry Boa, really helping me at the big league level. And I really think I deserved a couple of Gold Gloves in the years I played, especially in 1998. I played with the Cubs and only had 5 errors with a 992, 993 fielding percentage, and didn't win a Gold Glove. But took a lot of pride in my defense, and sometimes I would rather make a diving play and see the hitter's reaction to me making a diving play on them than getting a base hit. That's how much I love playing defense.
Yeah, I mean, the scouting report on you, Mickey, at that time was that your aggressive style of play and your hustling abilities is really what impressed the Phillies organization. Would you say that's an accurate assumption?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I played the game the right way. I knew how to play the game. I knew where to throw the ball. I knew how to move runners. I could bunt. I could hit and run. I could put the ball in play. And I did a lot of the little things to win ball games. And that was my whole career. I became a really good hitter. After, it took me a while to get accustomed to, the big league pitching and things like that. But after about my third professional full year, I really became a good hitter, hitting the two spot for most of my career, and just tried to get on base for those big boppers to come up and drive me in.
Yeah, I mean, I added up your minor league statistics, batting average, 89, 1990 combined. You averaged 338 in hitting. 1990, I believe you led Scranton, the International League, with triples that year. So it was really exceptional performance on your part.
Yeah, like I said, I had some speed. I wasn't a burner per se, but I had some speed. That was really my thing, was just to get on base and make some things happen. Like I said, do the little things. And, one year I hit 40 doubles at the big league level. And, I think 2 or 3 years I hit at least double figures and triples. So I wasn't a home run guy. I only hit 32 career home runs. My career high was 8 with the Cubbies. So, I had to do things a little bit differently than what they're teaching today, that's for sure. But, I feel like I had a great career. I had some rotator cuff injuries late in my career that I thought I could play a few more years. But, I got almost 11 years in the big league, so I'm pretty proud of that.
11 years, nearly 1,300 games. I want to throw that in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was only on the DL one time. I had a collision with an outfielder and broke my collarbone, so I was out for a few weeks. But other than that, I played hurt. I played anytime my name was in that lineup, and that's something I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah, no, I followed your career. Very solid player, very, very, very good player. 1993, big year for you, Mickey. Phillies won the National League Championship Series. Talk a little bit about that year. What was different about that Phillies team to the prior, 2 other teams which you performed with?
Yeah, we came into that. In 92, we were awful. We came in last place. We didn't look like we had a lot of talent, but Lee Thomas did an outstanding job. He went out, instead of signing a superstar, he went out and signed a handful of really good veteran players that knew how to play the game, like Incaviglia and Milt Thompson and Jim Eisenreich and Danny Jackson and those types of players. And, we got off to a really hot start. I think we were 8-run out of the chute. Then the fans started taking notice, and we were starting to get 40, 45, 50,000 people at the vet. And we just kind of rode that. We were only out of first place one day that entire season. And, we rode it, and we won. Like I said, we knew how to play the game. That we could hit home runs. We could draw walks. We knew how to run the bases. We played solid defense. Our starting pitching was really good. The back end of our bullpen was good. So we just kind of put it all together, and obviously momentum and chemistry really took part as we kept winning, and then the fans just got behind us, and it was awesome. It was an awesome ride.
Amazing. Now, looking at your career, you played under 2 managers. I don't know if this is correct, under Fragosi and Francona. Is that true?
In Philly, I played under those 2, and I also played under Jim Riggleman with the Cubs. And then when I got traded to Toronto, I had a little cup of coffee with Toronto late in my career. Fragosi was the manager there, so I really played. And I played for Nick Leyva for about 10 games. I got called up right after, or actually when I got called up in September in 1990, he was the manager. So technically I played for 4, but yeah, I didn't play for a lot of managers, that's for sure.
Well, I was going to ask you, so what would you say the difference in the management style between Fragosi and Francona at Philadelphia?
Not a whole lot. They were both players, managers. They were very good communicators. They let you know when you were doing things right. They let you know when you were doing things wrong. But they did it the right way. A little call into the office and say, hey, you got to fix this. You got to do this. We want you to do it this way. But they were both similar in that aspect. Now, Jim Fragosi had been in baseball for 40 years when he took over the Phillies. So he was a huge baseball man. He had an 18-year career, I think. Now, when Terry took over, that was his first big league managing job. So, he had some things to learn. And, And obviously he's become a great manager, and he's won a couple of World Series and taken teams to the playoffs every year. So he's come a long way, and I love both of them. They were both really good managers.
Amazing. Two memorable performance moments that I recall, Mickey. Two of your memorable performance. I remember in 1992 you hit an inside the park home run against the Braves. Do you remember that?
I do. It was at the vet on a wet outfield. One staff that I seemed to dominate was the Atlanta Braves. I can't explain it, but my numbers against Glavine and Maddox and Smoltz and some of those guys were off the charts. And I actually heard a stat that I have the best road hitting average at old Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta of any player that came through there. So I really dominated the Braves. And yeah, I remember that inside the park home run. I hit a line drive kind of to the right and kind of in the gap of David Justice, and he dove for the ball, missed it, and it went the whole way to the fence. And like I said, I had some speed, and it wasn't even a play at the plate, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And a second memorable moment in your career was this one. Let's play it.
There they go.
There they go.
There it is.
One.
There it is.
There's two.
Run to first.
Did he get it?
Oh,
He tagged second.
okay.
He got it.
That's right. Tagged him. How about that?
All right, just like you described, Whitey, and unassisted, right?
That's the risk of it. Unassisted triple play. And I think there was a guy by the name of Juan Gantz or something like that who did that years ago.
Let's see that triple play again. Runner's taken off.
Yeah, runner's going. A bullet. Good play. I mean, that. 2 outs made there at second.
So Mickey gets him scrambling for the record books.
There it is. Mickey got some scrambling for the record books. I believe it was the first ever by a second baseman during the regular season, unassisted triple play, huh?
That is correct. And if you were listening to that radio broadcast, you were probably like, what the heck is going on? Why does Whitey want him to run it to first? So if you watch it on TV, you probably knew what was going on. But via the radio there, you're probably, what just happened? But, yeah, it was, right place at the right time. And, I made a diving stop, and second base was about 3 or 4 steps away. And Barry Bonds made no attempt to go back to first base. So diving and catching the ball was the hard part. The rest of it was pretty easy. But, it lasted all of really probably 4 seconds. So it was a pretty quick play, and it got us out of a jam in a tight ball game.
Yeah, there it is. You're in the record book. So it was a tremendous play. I mean, there was a time, Mickey, you finished second in the National League with an incredible .990 fielding percentage. Now, what was the deal? I recall reading an article. You were under contract negotiations. They wanted to give you $100,000 less than what you initially offered. Can you talk a little bit about that time in your life?
You talking about with the Cubs?
With the Phillies. The Phillies wanted to give you, I believe, $625. You settled for $750,000 at that time.
Yeah, I mean, it was still pretty early in my career, and at some point I wanted to sign a multi-year contract, which I ended up doing in 1997, I believe it was. But when you're playing and you don't know how long your career is going to last, you're trying to get as much money as you can, as everybody does. And but I loved playing in Philadelphia. It was a great organization. The fans, I love the fans. I love the hard-nosed atmosphere here in the city, and everything worked out pretty well. I got to play for the Phillies for almost 9 years, and I got to play at Wrigley Field for a couple of years. So everything worked out for the best.
Yeah, I mean, that was the time that Bobby Bonilla, I mean, he was making $6.3 million at that time. So, I mean, you definitely earned what you were looking for.
Yeah. I have no, questions about my contract status really ever, or how much I made. In today's game, it would probably be, 6, 7, 8 times what I made back then. But, at the time I played, I felt they were fair contracts pretty much throughout my career. So I was happy with how that all went.
And Mickey, a couple more. I know you work very close with the Darren Dalton Foundation. Talk a little bit about Darren Dalton and what he meant to you.
Yeah, he was kind of a father figure to me, especially on the field and as a player. He taught me a lot about big league baseball, how to deal with the media, how to play hurt, how to do certain things the right way, and he was a great team leader. He was the best clubhouse presence I was ever involved with in my 11 big league career. He was a tremendous person. He not only cared about winning, but he cared about his teammates. And we lost him way too early, obviously, to brain cancer. And I was more than happy to be an ambassador for the foundation. And we're trying to raise as much money as we can through that foundation to help other people that are in the same situation as Darren was in. So we're doing a lot of good things. We just had a painting on a Zoom call where we had 100 people come in and paint, and we also have a golf tournament and several auction items and things like that. So we're trying to raise as much money to help some families out as best we can.
And I see a lot of your videos. I know you do work with the Phillies. Your videos can be seen on YouTube, the Yard Work video program. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, with COVID hitting, we still wanted to reach out to all the RBI program and the youth in this Philly area and trying to keep them, playing baseball as much as they could. Now, obviously, a lot, there weren't any games and practices and things like that. So we wanted to get these kids off their computers and video games and phones and things like that and get them outside and still working on the game of baseball. So we did a little series of videos. I think there were 6 or 7 videos trying to hit every aspect of the game, and just reached out to all the RBI program kids and youth athletes here in the Philly area and just tried to get them active and doing some stuff while COVID had everything shut down.
Well, listen, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, it was fun. Anytime. Now we just need our Phillies. We just need our Phillies to get healthy and just play a little bit more consistent baseball. So hopefully we can do that in the near future.
And before I let you go, do you still follow the game? You still follow the stats or follow the the rosters? You still follow the game?
I do. I mean, here in Philadelphia, I do. I don't watch much baseball outside of the Phillies, but obviously I still work for the Phillies, do a lot of appearances for them. So yeah, I'm very involved in how they perform on the field, and like I said, hopefully we can get healthy and start winning some more ball games consistently.
And I hope I didn't throw you off with that salary question. My point was that you performed so well that you deserved what you were asking for at that time. So I hope I didn't throw you off with that salary question.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I feel like all my contracts were fair, and that was a long, long time ago. The way this game is played now and the money that's out there, it's obviously a different time and different place. But I was happy with it. I was
astronomical prices that these players are making today. Imagine if you were playing today, Mickey.
Yeah, I try not to imagine that because it just makes me mad.
Well, I also read, Mickey, that your name is one of the best in baseball. Mickey Morandini, Mickey Mantle, Mickey Morandini. Those are the true M&M boys.
Yeah, Harry Callis kind of put me on the map the way he said my name. He kind of enunciated every syllable of my first and last name, and it is stuck here in Philadelphia. Every time people see me, they try and say my name like Harry did, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know they say the Yankee fans say the M&M boys are Mantle and Maris, but Roger Maris, you're Mickey Morandini. You are an M&M boy.
I am an M&M boy in my own way, absolutely.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time. Stay safe. Have a great weekend.
All right, thanks. Have a good weekend. We'll see you.
Take care, buddy. That was Mickey Morandini, Philadelphia Phillies ambassador, former Major League Baseball All-Star, 1988 Olympic gold medalist, 3-time All-Big Ten player, 1993 National League champion, Philadelphia Philly player, 1988 Topps. You can go check it out. Rookie card, pictures Morandini in a Team USA baseball uniform. Thanks, Mickey, for your time. Until next week, happy collecting to all.